So it's 9:13 in the morning. Apparently I really burnt my arms yesterday. I'm just packing up my stuff from the bear locker. I've got everything else in my bag packed already. So I just gotta pack up this. It's already pretty hot, which is why I wanted to leave early. And this is earlier than yesterday, but again, it's all downhill, so it should be okay. My feet were hurting so bad. I kept waking up last night, but at least I got some decent sleep, better than the first night, so. I think the sunburns come out a little bit more, but I can't quite tell. Anyways, it is currently 9:30 right on the dot, and I am just about to leave. Let's hope it doesn't take 5 or 6 hours to get to Big Elbow. It's just 11.2 from where this campsite forks with the trail, so I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I'm expecting like 3 hours. From my understanding, it's mostly downhill, so let's hope it's actually mostly downhill. But also, downhill is really hard on your knees, and especially for 11 kilometers. It's hot in the sun. The shade's super nice. The shade, I would even wager to say, is a little bit chilly, but the sooner we leave, the sooner we can get to the next campsite, the sooner we can get out of the blazing sun, assuming that I'm in the sun. The good thing is that I'm back below the tree line. I'm not level with the snow. I'm not facing a field or anything, really. There should be lots of shade, at least for a little bit. Oh yeah, really quickly, I did some backcountry laundry with camp suds. So I have my socks. I'm in my sleeping socks still. But I have my hiking socks that I've been wearing for 2 days hanging off there. Adhere. And then I have my face, butt, whatever, general cleaning cloth, which I also washed out with camp suds, hanging off of there. So hopefully they all dry and sanitize from the sun. But again, I did actually use soap with them. One last look of the valley, 9:30 in the morning. This is beautiful. Goodbye, Tombstone. Came up this big hill already. Gotta finish going up this hill. Okay, so we're right here, already at the intersection, and we gotta go up here. 11.2, so shouldn't be anything crazy. And again, it's mostly downhill because we're heading back to the parking lot. So we go this way. Tombstone is that way. And then up that way, because this is like a 3-pronged Y situation. That goes to Mount Romulus, and also it goes to the Tombstone Lakes turnoff, which is a Y further up. I was worried water was going to be scarce like it was coming to Tombstone, but there's like so much water. I've passed so many streams so far. I was down in the valley of those mountains like 40 minutes ago. Pretty sure those are strawberries. They look like them. I'm taking a little break by the river. This is the Big Elbow, which we passed going to we passed the Little Elbow going to Mount Romulus. This is the Big Elbow. Came from all the way over there. I need water, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, and then I'm gonna filter some water. And then continue, the trail continues that way. I'm gonna go find a spot in the shade once I collect my water. So from Tombstone, I had this much left of my water. I don't know, like 1/4 of a liter. I grabbed like almost 2 full liters. I'm probably gonna carry some extra with me again, just because again, I don't know when the next water source is. But it's hot. There's been a lot of shade so far. Like you can see up there, it's pretty shaded. I'm like way down in a valley right now because I'm right by the river, right? So yeah, I'm gonna filter my water and continue. If you couldn't tell from all the poop, a whole group of horses just passed me. Probably a solid like 7 or 8. I get why people would want to do this like with horses, because then at least your legs aren't gonna hurt and stuff. Well, maybe they are. I don't know how horse riding works, but I think that'd be an interesting experience to try. I'm, I think 6 kilometers in right now, so halfway, which is pretty good. And it's 11:55, so it's been 2.5 hours. That's including refilling water and stuff though. So I had to stop because I started gagging. Apparently the vomiting feeling's back. And again, I've had so much water today. I'm at 6.25 kilometers, so halfway. More than halfway if it's actually 11.2. Yeah, I'm just stopped on a really, really big uphill. I don't know if you can, still got all that way to go. Yeah, I just really wasn't feeling good all of a sudden. And then the gagging started. I'm 6.74 kilometers in right now. So I should just have about 4 and a little bit left, which is great because it's so hot. I'm shade hopping again. Literally going from one little patch of shade to another little patch. It's been 3 hours exactly, so it's probably going to be another 2 hours before I make it to the campsite. If it wasn't so hot, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but it's just so much to deal with. If it goes down to the trees, like there's shade or something, not a big deal, but a lot of it's still pretty open. Not anything like yesterday, but there's still a lot of open trail, open sky. And the sun's almost directly above me, so it's probably gonna be like this unless I'm like in the forest. Hopefully I don't have to check in for a little bit. This doesn't do it justice, but that hill is extremely steep. Taking another little break. I'm not sure how many kilometers I'm at right now. I just came down from up there, and that's only halfway. It goes even further. Didn't fall though, so that's good. I'm nervous about this one because this is extremely steep. Some mountain bikers passed me, 3 of them. I'm not sure how you would mountain bike down that. Like, you wipe out, and I can't even imagine how bad the cuts would be, or if you slammed into a tree or something. Well, I fell. I was coming down this really steep hill, and I slipped. I hit my, the side of my leg, like where my cut is. That's still healing. My lips are so dry. And I've already drinking like an entire liter today. Like easy, probably 1.5 liters. I have 2 liters on me right now, but I mean, I'm getting down on the first liter. I'm gonna go though because I'm sitting in the middle of the path. I found another water source, but I'm okay. I'm still carrying more than 1 liter. And it looks like we meet up with the big elbow right there. We just crossed a bridge over the Elbow River, or I just crossed a bridge. I don't know why I keep saying we. It's quite a nice bridge. It still smelled like wood, so definitely newish. We are now in full sun. Back on what looks like a road. But I am at like 8 kilometers, so it should be only about 3 left. Oh yeah, and I didn't take a video of the bridge because there's someone on it. So, and they were like actually stopping to look at the water, so I didn't want to put them in the video without their consent or anything. Yeah, so this is what I'm walking on right now. Very, very out in the open. All the trees are little on both sides. This is gonna be the sucky part. Still have lots of water though, but there's not too much longer left. Okay, I'm at 8.5 kilometers. Elbow River's down there. Trail continues this way. But look at these mountains. The view's nice, but I'm also like fighting vomiting. I still haven't eaten anything yet today, so I don't want to eat something and then vomit it right back up. 8.5 kilometers though, so less than 3 left. I have literally like 2.5 kilometers left. I stopped in the shade. This was shade, but the sun's right overhead, so it's moving very fast. I finished filtering the water that I had, the 1 liter that was left. I also wet that blue cloth and then put it on the back of my neck because the back of my neck is so sore. So I'm gonna try and go for a little bit. Next time I find a decent amount of shade, I'm probably gonna stop again. I've spit up water twice now. I still haven't had anything to eat because just the thought of it, ugh. I took the Bobo's bar from yesterday out of my food bag and I put it in my pocket. And every single time I stop in the shade, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a bite, but oh, the thought of it is gonna make me vomit. I'm at 9.5 kilometers right now, so it should only just be up the trail, but it's full sun. There's little speckled bits of shade. I've just been going from one little bit of shade to another little bit of shade, but it's so much. There's a fork in the trail here that's not on the map. It says there's a bridge this way, so I'm guessing that this way you'd have to like actually walk across the Elbow River. So I'm gonna go this way and hope it doesn't add too much time. This is what that other bridge looked like as well. It looks like there's almost a gorge or something. So I get why they built this instead of having people cross. It's so pretty, but it's so hot. So I'm across the bridge. I wonder if this, because that's definitely a trail too. I wonder if that's like an old elbow loop trail or something, because we gotta go this way. Meet up where the trail would be if we had crossed the river. So it looks like if we had taken the Asheville water crossing, I think it would have been right here is where we came out, but I have no idea where you would have been on the other side. Looks like I lied. That's where you would have had to cross the river. And I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but like, I don't know. I'm so glad they put the bridge in. And then you'd have to make it all through this to get back up to the trail. Okay, so there's the bridge I took. That's where the trail used to be. It looks like there used to be a bridge here, but it's completely washed out. And then there was another crossing added right there. And then you'd have to walk up along the river to get back on trail, which is right here. Back to road walking in full sun. I'm within 1 kilometer though, assuming it is where I think it is, which would be where the path touches the river again. But the full sun part, man, is so bad. The full sun and the gravel. I've been walking on gravel almost exclusively for 3 days, and it's just a lot. I just want to get there, and there's no shade. Like, there's little tiny pockets, but that's about all. I'm at 11.91 kilometers right now. So it's got to be just up ahead because this will be 11.2, right? I mean, like, the bridge detour is not counted, and then I got water from the river at some point, but I feel like I'm about to cry because this is just a lot and I really need a break. But if I'm so close, I'm gonna be so sad if I make it like all the way to 13 kilometers and it's still not there, because then I don't know where it is on the map. And I'm not feeling well and I'm really hot. I had to stop again. There was actual shade. I'm like 0.2 kilometers from where I think the campsite is. I need to stop. I'm starting to see things. Like, I keep thinking that there's someone behind me, but there isn't. No bears or anything either. I've been yelling out "Hey bear" this whole time. So the Elbow River is right there. It looks beautiful. Which means the campsite should be just up ahead because the campsite connects with the river, right? So that you can get water. It looks like someone planted that there. Like, it doesn't look like it actually formed there. But yeah, I'm almost tempted to get up at like 6 a.m. tomorrow or something and literally leave as soon as possible, just because if it's gonna be this hot tomorrow as well. Apparently it's 27, feels like 29, or it was when my spouse checked like 2 hours ago. So it's probably even hotter now. I'm at 14.29 kilometers and I still can't find the campsite. And it's so hot. Like, it was supposed to be 11.2, so I don't know where it is.
Literally just after I made that video, I came up on the campsite, but like, it was supposed to be 11.2. Which makes me nervous for tomorrow. 11.2.
Okay, so I've been sitting at the Big Elbow campsite for probably, I don't know, 3 hours. It's 6:57 right now, and I sent my, hey, I've made it to my destination at 3:39. So I made it here at 3:30. So I've been here for 3.5 hours. There were 3 hikers here when I first arrived. And I was excited because I was like, oh man, I'm not the only one here tonight. And they left probably 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. And then after that, I was sitting around for literally 2.5 hours, just yelling, hey bear, occasionally, just to make sure that I'm not letting something sneak up on me, because I was by myself, right? And then a mountain biker came in probably half an hour ago, and then he just left as well. So it looks like I'm alone tonight, which is mildly scary, just because I don't think I've done backcountry completely alone ever. So we'll see if someone else shows up, but I mean, it's 7 o'clock. Who, like, unless someone came after work or something, who's gonna show up now? Okay, so I set up the tent. Looks totally fine. I guess, ow, there's so many mosquitoes here. Oh, I just killed one. Sorry, little guy. I just didn't want you to suck my blood. I didn't want you to die. It's very weird, the campsites, because they all have like horse poles, like so you can tie your horse to it. And then usually the equestrian campsites, and the entire loop is equestrian friendly. The equestrian campsites are usually separate from the hiker campsites, but I looked around and I don't see like a separate hiker site, I guess. There is also no site numbers or anything. There's literally just picnic table, horse pole, fire pit, and that's all. And there's apparently 7 of them. I counted 5, but I didn't go wandering or anything. So I'm set up right in the middle, and I'll switch this around. So I know this is not straight, but I'm set up right there. You can see the horse pole, like, let me see where my finger is, like right there, right? Right there. Sorry, that was probably way overexposed, but they also have you do a survey thing as well, saying like what you liked about the campsite, what you didn't like, stuff like that. So I put in that the sites were confusing because I don't know where I'm actually supposed to be. But I looked through the other comments that were left in the box and similar things, like where do hikers go, where do equestrians go. And then they only have 4 food boxes, like bear boxes, and 2 of them don't latch, so there's 2. And I mean, they can fit a lot of food, but like what if there's more than 2 hikers here? Or what if there's a whole bunch of horses? Like I saw there was 8 horses or whatever earlier, right, that passed me. So what would they do if they stayed here? You can't fit 8 things of horse food and people food into 2 bear boxes. Like, that's not gonna work. The solar panel's been going for a while as well. I will go take a look and see how much power it's drawn in, but I think it was about 1,500 in a couple of hours, which is pretty good because it's a teeny tiny solar panel. Let me go grab it. So it's this little guy, 116 grams, I believe, so very light. I was out for 4 days, right? 2 full days and 2 partial days. And I had only brought my 10,000 milliamp hour Anchor power bank. So I wanted to be able to top it up on trail, and this is actually lighter, like the 10,000 milliamp hour power bank mixed with the solar panel. It's lighter than my 20,000 milliamp hour power bank, also by Anchor. So let's see what it did. So we were at 2 bars before, we're now at 3, and it says we have done 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 23 seconds. We have created, I suppose, we have collected 1,716 milliamp hours. So almost a fifth of the power bank in 2.5 hours. I don't think that's that bad because I just wanted to be able to top up a little bit. It's enough to charge my phone, so that's appreciated. It's enough to charge the InReach if it needed it. It's enough to charge my watch if it needed it. And that's just from the couple of hours today. I set it out so briefly yesterday because the sun went down so fast. But I think it did pretty well today, especially considering how hot and how like vibrant the sun is. I mean, you can see it on my face right now, right? I have to keep changing the aperture because I'm overexposed but underexposed, but overexposed but underexposed. Debrief of today. I woke up at 8:30, got everything packed and ready to go by 9:30. I left at 9:33 if I remember correctly. Things were totally fine for about 8 kilometers. And then at the end of that 8 kilometers, it was full sun for the rest. The InReach says that I traveled 15 kilometers. There's a weird glitch in there, so that's probably not accurate. But remember, it's supposed to be 11.2, so I don't know, it took a long time. And I got here at 3:30, so that means that I was out hiking for 6 hours. And I mean, I took quite a few breaks as well. Like I said, I was spitting up water and stuff. My total trip time, I forgot to stop it tracking as I was walking around the campsite, but 7 hours, 26 minutes and 2 seconds. It says my time moving was 3 hours, 41 minutes and 7 seconds. And then my moving average is 4.3 kilometers per hour. I don't know how much any of that is accurate, except for like the total time, I guess. Oh, there's so many mosquitoes. Yeah, it was really, really rough. The sun on my sunburn. Ew, I have a spider web across my face all of a sudden. I don't know where that came from. The sun on my sunburns, especially on the back of my neck, oh, it hurts so bad. I ended up putting my my blue cloth, I soaked it with water, and then I put it behind my neck. And honestly, that really, really helped. Thankfully, the sun was behind me, whereas yesterday the sun was directly on my face the whole time. I mean, you can see the exact line where I was burned, right? There you go. I don't know, there isn't much to say. I'm thinking of canceling my trip that I was gonna do in September. I'm booked for the Molar Loop, but I don't think I can do it. Not with the physical capabilities I have at this exact moment. Maybe next year, but I don't think I can do it this year because I don't want to be stuck at the top of the mountain pass or something as the sun's going down, because I don't want to be hiking in the dark in grizzly country. And it's backcountry Banff, so very grizzly country. I keep hearing noises in the bushes and I don't know what they are. So I've been hay bearing pretty regularly, but I think I'm going to do another time lapse tonight because there's a pretty good view where you go to grab water, so I think I'm going to go use my time efficiently to do that. Outside of that, because I'm alone all night, I guess, unless someone else shows up in the next couple of hours, the sun starts going down at 9, or rather, last night I was in the shadow of the mountains at 9, and I mean, it's still pretty bright, but you can see there's lots of shadow behind me, whereas this was not full sun, but pretty heavy on the sun earlier. I mean, in order to get that much from the solar panel. And I don't want to be outside of my tent once it gets dark, as we know. I literally ate, I think, 4 Allen's watermelon sour candies, and I ate the Bobo's bar from yesterday, and that's all. I'm not hungry at all. Filtered a bunch of water though. I have a full liter here. And then I easily have another full liter here, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. So hopefully I don't have to go down to the river again, because the Elbow River by itself, it's actually pretty far out. You'll see in the time lapse, if you can even see it. But there's a little stream right by the campsite that branches off the Elbow River, and that's where I grabbed water from. But the issue is that the bank is really, really steep. Someone has made kind of DIY stone stairs, but it's still a little bit of an ordeal getting down there. So I'm gonna try not to use too much water. I still have a taco couscous thing for tonight, but I don't want to eat it, so I'll check in with the time lapse in a little bit, I think. So I have the time lapse set up, looking out on this view, but the view I actually wanted to capture was this, but it's too big. I can't get it in frame even with the 12mm. So we're going to do this instead, which honestly looks pretty good either way. It's not going to be sunset, but it will be a nice as the shadow creeps over from this mountain and this mountain. Yep. I guess we'll see what it looks like in about 45 minutes. And then to get water, you go down these little stone stair steps, and there's a little creek right there. And then further up is the Elbow River, so maybe I should go investigate that. So I am that far, right by where that stump is, from where I was before, or I guess you can maybe see the camera. And I've come to a second little creek, which we're going to go across. You can see it disappears right there. It's been flowing under the rocks for who knows how long. And I think on the other side, there's one more creek, and then it's the river. I fell and landed right on my hand, right on my palm. And I also scratched my side pretty bad on a branch. I was trying to get up the bank, like the one right here, and I stepped on a rock that looked safe. I put part of my weight on it and it held me fine, but then I put all my weight on it and it did not hold me. So that's cool. We're pretty much in the middle of the riverbed right now. As you can see, this is all dried riverbed. I think it was from the flood many years ago. I can hear the Elbow River is just over there. And here's the river. It looks like someone made a little like tub, I guess. Or there's no current. And again, we're right in the middle of the riverbed. I know there's water flowing under me because there was another stream that disappears. So here's the mountains that I'm sleeping at the base of tonight. And then I'm betting that mountain down there is where we're going tomorrow. And here's that second little creek that appears out of nowhere. Literally nothing, 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 and then water. So my Leukotape monstrosity from yesterday is still holding strong. I got a blister on my thumb, so I dealt with that. I don't know why it's doing this. Like why it's unsticking itself or like merging into my skin. Bad news is I now have a blister there. And a blister there. So I have to deal with those. So there's both blisters drained. Very gross. Ew. I need to put Leukotape on that one too. Okay, that just has to last the rest of tomorrow, and that's my last piece of Leukotape. So hopefully nothing else happens. So tonight I'm going to take my usual Imodium. It is 9:14, so you know it's starting to get dark. I'm also going to take an extra strength Advil. Hopefully that'll help everything to not be sore. I just have to get home, that's all. Well, I just need to get out and then get back to Calgary. That's the entire thing. So somehow, with my 1,700 and whatever milliamp hours gained by the solar panel earlier, I actually bumped it back up to 4 bars. I thought it was only at 3. Oh yeah, and when I fell on the trail earlier, I hit this, which is still healing, but it looks totally fine. So I don't think I hit anything else. Oh no, I bet that was from that. Okay, so I have a bruise, but that's about all. I looked on the other leg and there was nothing new, so I think it's just that bruise along the side of my knee. So I finished the time lapse. It's okay, it would have been nice if I got like the entire, like right up until sunset, but that's not how it works. I took some B-roll as well because I haven't done that at all yet. I'm excited to hike out tomorrow. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna end up going paddleboarding because I know the plan was to go paddleboarding tomorrow on Forget-Me-Not Pond. But I'm probably gonna be so dang tired and probably will just want to get back to Calgary. So that's very unfortunate. I'm gonna try, but I mean, I don't know. Oh, and you can see exactly where I had my sleeve yesterday, which was the first line, like the line closest to my wrist, and then exactly where I had my sleeve today, which is the second line. Really bad. Really, really bad. It really hurts. To reference what my skin normally looks like. Oh yeah. That's fantastic. Do that thing where I look at my sides and stuff. Oh boy. This is very hot to the touch. Now let's see if I can get behind me. I don't know if you could see that or not. Even my ears, they hurt to touch. They're all hot. This is hot. This is hot. It's all super hot.